Good evening. The news summary for this Wednesday, 2nd June. The Institute of Early Childhood Development, ICD, is officially a Category 2 institution under the auspices of UNESCO. This follows the signing of an agreement between the government of Seychelles and the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. The agreement was signed by the Minister for Education, Dr. Justin Valentin, and the chairman of the ICD board, Captain David Zavi. This was during a ceremony at the STC conference room yesterday afternoon to coincide with Children's Day. It was then handed over to the Secretary General of the National Commission for UNESCO, Vicky Michel. The Director General of UNESCO, Audrey Azoulay, signed the agreement last month, and the Cabinet gave its approval for the signing by the government last week. There are 15 such centers worldwide in the field of education. Seychelles was recognized as one such center in November 2019 during UNESCO's 40th General Conference.
As a UNESCO Category 2 center, ICD will provide leadership, coordination, and strategic direction at regional and international levels. Category 2 centers under the auspices of UNESCO. They form a global network of centers of excellence in the organization's domain of competence. Given their expertise, these centers contribute to a meaningful way to the implementation of UNESCO's priorities, programs, and global development agendas. These centers are also an extension of UNESCO in that they contribute towards the main functions of UNESCO in knowledge production, policy advice, capacity building, setting of standards, technical assistance, and advocacy and information sharing.
The Minister responsible for social affairs, Patricia Francoux, has confirmed that applicants needing social assistance will continue to receive it through the STC card system. Speaking in the National Assembly yesterday, Minister Francoux said the program, which started in 2016, is still ongoing. In districts where STC outlets have closed, especially in Praslin and La Digue, the money will be transferred in the applicant's bank account. Minister Francoux declared that most people are using the card well. However, some applicants are not making use of the assistance. The CEO for Social Protection, Brenda Mouret, says the agency is carrying out an exercise to find out why some people have asked for the assistance but are not using it and to identify any abuse. The Soutitern that provides the seasonal bird's egg for consumption is at risk of disappearing. This is according to research done on some islands where the birds lay their eggs. In order to collect more information that is correct, precise, and up to date, the Ministry for Agriculture, Climate Change and Environment has put restrictions on the collection of birds' eggs for 1 year. Officers from the ministry, along with its partners, will be conducting the Soutitern census for the whole month of June, and results is expected to be released in November.
The reason for conducting the survey is to have a better appreciation of the population size of the Soutiterns that we have, especially on those islands, because those islands are like the islands where they are found mostly in the Seychelles. So it will also enable us to know, because we do know that there's a lot of threats. I mean, it starts with us, anthropogenic threats, because of collection of eggs. There is also issues regarding climate change, and there's also issues related to availability of food. So with this survey, with the finding of this survey, it will enable the ministry to better put in place management measures, especially when it comes to egg collection in the near future, and especially if we need to establish like quotas for the various islands.
Several organizations have presented gifts to to children on Children's Day. The Chinese embassy has given public schools stationery, toys, books, sports equipment, and medical supplies like masks, sanitizers, and thermometers. The Chinese ambassador, Wei Guo, presented the gifts to First Lady Linda Ramkalawan at the National Council for Children at Belo. Ambassador Wei also donated $6,000, which will be used during the first Children's Festival. The children of the President's Village, Poglo, have received a load of books for different ages. They vary from bedtime adventure stories to academic books that cover subjects as geography and chemistry. It was the Minister for Education, Dr. Justin Valentin, who offered the books on behalf of the Ministry of Education. He says all children, including those at the President's Village, have the potential to do well academically, and some at the village are even showing signs that they could excel.
The principal aim of this donation is to ensure that learning continues after school. At the same time, we also want to trigger a love, a love for reading in the student. We hope that students, especially those who aspire to sit for IGCSE in the next 3 to 4 years, will benefit from this donation. And we hope that people around who are interested in giving or in donating to the village will think of books as a possible option.
Checking the temperature of school children should be faster, easier, and more efficient now that more thermometers have been given to the Ministry of Education for the schools. This donation was made by the Absa Bank Seychelles Limited this afternoon. The managing director of Absa Bank Seychelles, Johan von Schalkwijk, says it is a privilege to donate those thermometers so that the children who are our future leaders will be kept safe. That's the end of this news summary. Join me at 8 for the news bulletin in Creole. Until then, have a pleasant evening.